Have you ever wondered why some people seem to effortlessly attract good fortune and success? Just think about that. Why does that? This ideal introduced by this person named Neville Goddard, a mystic and spiritual teacher who lived in the 20th century, was interested in the Bible. And he gained some special knowledge from people he met over time. And this special knowledge of the Bible introduced him to this ideal called the law of assumption. The law of assumption states that we can shape our reality by assuming a feeling of already being there. It's similar to manifestation and visualization. So how exactly does it work? Thoughts and feelings create vibrations. Vibrations attract experiences and circumstances that match their frequency. When we assume the feeling of already being there or having what we desire, we send out a vibration of positivity and attraction, which in turn attracts our desire to us. Now I'm going to explain to you his 6 core teachings that he taught to others while he was alive. That first one is assumptions harden into facts. Neville taught that assumptions, while false, will harden into fact if you keep assuming it. To put this to yourself, all you have to do is look at your life and compare it to what you assume to be true and how you manifested that. If you do this, you will notice how your assumptions that you had ever since you were a child or ever since you're an adult, your assumptions manifested to where you are now, to how you got to where you're at now. That second one is consciousness is the only reality. What you're conscious of is the reality. Makes sense, right? In other words, your world, your life is made of content of what you're conscious of. For example, if you're broke right now, and it's because you consciously like money. If you're hungry, you consciously like food. Your main desire right now to get to where you want to get at is because you are conscious of the absence of such desire rather than its presence. Number 3 is imagination creates reality. The core teaching of Neville is that there is no God outside of us because God is us. I know that may be different than what other religions teach, but just listen. That divine force called God is having an experience through each human being that we meet. And it's our purpose as human beings to use that power to learn how we can use our imagination to create the life that we want. However, since God is impartial and doesn't see right or wrong the same way as human egos see it, as we were raised in different ways, we can also imagine negative things for us and thus having to go through it. Number 4, feeling is a secret. The difference between a thought that manifests and one that doesn't is that the feeling. Even if you're passing through what you feel is true, or that thought that passes through that you feel is going to happen, it will manifest eventually. This is why you want to manifest specific desire that you want to happen. You want to feel like it's real. You need to create an imaginal scene in your head that will help you feel that you are actually there in that specific moment. And when you repeat that process over and over and over again, similar to going to the gym over and over again, it will get stronger. And the more you do it, the more that will impress your subconscious mind and your desire will show up because it's within the law of assumption. That 5th one is living in the end / in the end fulfilled. When Neville said go in the end, what do you think that means? Let's say that you're married or you're going to get married. You need to imagine that you're already married. Don't imagine going on the first date with someone you meet, because once you imagine that, it's not going to happen. That 5th one is living in the end, any wish fulfilled. When Neville introduced his teaching, what he mean by this is imagine that you are already at the end of your journey. For example, if you were getting married or you just meet this girl that you like a lot and you want to marry, imagine that you're already married. Don't bother imagining about the first dates, because once you imagine that you're already married, the first date and everything in between would be just like a bridge of incidents that would happen automatically and take you to your end goal. On the other hand, if you end up manifesting a specific day or like a specific course of action that you did, you might well stay there because that manifestation isn't there. If that makes sense. Many people in the manifesting community have actually fallen into the trap of manifesting specific days instead of that end goal. No matter what you desire, you need to go to the end, and visualizing that, assume that you're already there is the fastest way to get there. And number 6, there's no one to change but self. Since our consciousness is the only reality we are in charge of and the source of all things that we experience in our lives, even how other people are showing up in our lives, Neville said that rebirth depends on the inner work of oneself. No one can be reborn without changing themselves. Anytime an entirely new set of reaction enters in a person's lives, a change of consciousness has to take place. A spiritual rebirth will occur. The way circumstances that people in this world are connected is a direct reflection of yourself. Thus, if you want to create a different circumstance and people in your life, you need to start with your concept of self. By working on yourself, you can transform the world and everyone else in it. But thank you for listening this far. Please like, comment, subscribe, and also in the comments below, if you experienced the law of assumption before, share your experience in the comments. Show how it helped you, or that you benefit from it, or something bad happened from it. And you may be surprised that someone else may be in the same boat as you. But thank you for listening and stay motivated.